That's right, we're back. We're live on Chicano Tube, the Tuesday night edition, live right here. You see the name of the pinche calle is Chicano Street right here. That's why this topic hits super close to home, right? Super close to home. We'll go through some formalities, and then we're going to go ahead and get into it. But this time, I'm a little bit more calmado, right? I'm a little bit more calmado. I've almost given up, but I haven't. I've almost given up on the online raza, right? There's a difference. The internet raza is different than the raza that's in the community, right? So almost given up on them. We'll talk about that today. We're going to go over Dolores Huerta again because I put out a poll, you guys, and I'm going to be doing that poll probably every single Sunday. And in that way, whatever topics we got to hammer, we got to hit, here we don't duck or dodge nada para nada. I'll put a poll out there. That way you guys can go ahead and chime in on exactly what, when we spend time together on YouTube Landia, what it is that you guys want to be talking about, right? So I'll put a poll whether you guys want to talk about immigration, tax fraud, politics, the White House, whatever it is, right? And that's going to be coming out every single Sunday. That way I can really dial in, right? Because I want this time that we spend together on YouTube Landia to be something productive, man. Something substantial, right? Done with the Mickey Mousing, done with the games. We need to go ahead and have something substantial for the people. That way the raza can go and say, you know what, ese pinche canal ahí, that vato right there, he's for the people 100%, right? And so I'll be putting out that poll every single Sunday, you guys. Do me a favor, just vote on it. And that's how we got to, we're going to do the update today that a lot of people haven't done. But I'm going to do that update because, again, this hits way too close to home for La Raza. I mean, this scandalo, it needs to be looked at objectively. I'm going to tell you tonight, I believe Dolores Huerta. Now, you might say, to what extent, Mikey? Break that down. Don't just say, I believe Dolores Huerta. I'm going to get to that a little bit later. All right? You're going to have to stick around for the Pinchy show in order to find that out, right? And I believe the two women also as well. But again, to what extent? Let's talk about that tonight. A couple announcements before we do anything. This Thursday night, Raza, I am privileged and I am honored again to be able to have Profesora Doctora Hortensia Jimenez is coming back on the podcast, you guys. We're going to pick up a wonderful conversation. We couldn't even deep dive into it. I mean, the last time I had her on the show, she was talking about abuse. She was talking about the calladito culture. She was talking about stigmas in the brown community. I mean, she had me taking a step back like, damn, I didn't know she was going to let loose like that. But this is what the raza needs to hear. We need to stop sweeping things under the rug for la raza, and we need to start addressing issues. If we don't address the root of the issue, then we're never going to move forward, man. To be honest with you, we'll end up spinning our wheels and getting absolutely nowhere. So this Thursday night at about 6:30 p.m., tune in for La Profesora Doctora. She actually teaches at my son's college. She teaches at my son's college. Doctora Hortensia Jimenez. Thank you, amiga. I don't know if you're watching the show, but thank you. We're live on YouTube. I want to give a shout out to the YouTube Landia crowd. I also want to give a shout out to Facebook is watching us. Twitch is watching us as well. And so that's one announcement that I wanted to make. And I'm also working on bringing back Wayward Son, you guys. You guys wanted to hear from Wayward Son. And, and some people, have got at me in my DMs and, hey, Mikey, you bring people on the platform most of the time that have differing opinions than you. And that's true. That's true. Because I'm not one of these pinchy little YouTubers that is going to want nothing but yes people around me and people to tell me what I want to hear, or have people talk and everything they align with me. That's not the way we should be going about gathering information. We should be hearing different perspectives. We should be hearing different voices. And then ultimately, when we gather all the information, you decide at the end of the day what position you take, what you stand on, and what your opinion is, right? The only thing I forgot to do, cabrones, is I forgot to set up the Bluetooth, because I just remembered. I said, oh, chingado, I put the phone number down there at the bottom. Si se calienta la cosa, which I'm going to really try to keep my temperament down. I'm very upset at la raza that's weak, the la raza that sold us out, the raza that threw everything under a bus within 72 hours, and they don't even know that they damage la cultura. Again, men and women that do those kind of things, they damage la cultura. Absolutely. No one is denying that. No one is denying that. But when it's a brown man, oh, man, it's easy for another brown man to go right after another brown man and say, you know what, tear the whole motherfucker down, man. That's, I'm going to calm down tonight. I'm going to calm down. Let's make sure, let me see if, I want to make sure, let me see if it's hooked up.
I spent a little time wondering what.
Okay, I think that's going to work. Hold on. Let me make a phone call just to make sure it's working. I want to give a shout out to all the raza, man. I appreciate everyone that's already tuning in right now. Do me a favor, man. Do me a solid and just hit that pinche like button one time for me. Por favor, if you can, do me that solid. Let me just set up the phone lines. My bad, gente. My bad. I should have set it up. Go ahead and drop a comment, though, because we're going to get into it tonight. We're going to go ahead and hear a couple different perspectives, man. Let's go ahead and go back and hear Cesar Chavez's infamous interview, 1972. I want to go ahead and hear that one.
Connecting.
I think the phone line is up already, so let's go ahead and try it out.
Call from
Jenny Selby.
Miss Jenny La Chicana, God bless you, amiga. How are you?
Miss Jenny La Chicana, God bless you, amiga. How are you? Old.
Amiga, turn your YouTube down in the background. All you got to do is turn your YouTube down in the background. That way you can hear me.
Yeah, I had the TV on, sorry.
No problem. Turn the TV off, amiga. I know this is a topic that hits Chicanos close to home. You're Jenny La Chicana from San Diego. Let me know your opinion. Let's get straight into it.
Okay, on the Dolores
Yes.
Huerta thing, I don't believe her. I'm sorry. You know, she could have came out and with the Me Too movement, and she didn't. She didn't.
Yeah, 2009.
Okay, as a survivor of...
Go ahead.
As a victim of MST, which is military sexual trauma, you don't want to be around your perpetrators. And you certainly as hell don't marry into the family.
I hear you.
You know, if it comes out that, you know what, there was
Yeah.
it's just a real big situation You know, and it happens not just to women, to men too. And there is that silence around the brown community.
Mm.
It's not right. And nothing ever goes to make it right. But we have to stand up and, you know, protect our kids.
Yeah. Yeah. No, absolutely. I agree with you. It's 2019. She did, it was a monologue speech, and the whole speech was about sexual assault, harassment, etc., right? Empowering women. And that was at the time that Harvey Weinstein had hit the headlines, and the Me Too movement, you know, was pretty much getting pumped out on the most, you know, major mainstream 6 of the largest 8 networks. And when they want to get behind something, they will pump it down your throat. And it makes you question it. That's all I'm saying. It makes you question, why not at that time and why now?
I don't know. It's just that my father used to tell me this. He marched with Cesar Chavez.
Okay.
And I don't, you know, and it's just, you know what? Hey, if I'm wrong, I can admit I'm wrong.
Me too.
But I don't know. It just it comes out with her. The Dolores Huerta Foundation is being sued. What a coincidence.
Yeah. There's
something is not right.
Well, I appreciate you chiming in, amiga, and I'm going to continue this. I barely started right now. We're going to get into it. We're going to see a Cesar Chavez interview. We're also going to see a Dolores Huerta interview. And again, this is the People's Channel. All I'm here to do is present facts, and you guys ultimately decide.
Yeah, pay attention to the facts.
That's what we're going to be doing. I appreciate the call, amiga. Gracias for tapping in.
Okay, cuídate. Bye.
Cuídate. Bendiciones. Bye. And I was still on the intro right there, but people are really hot. They're really hot about this topic, and I'm trying to keep an even temperament. So again, we're gonna have Doctora Profesora Hortensia Jimenez this Thursday night to voice her opinion. We're really going to be talking about a lot of things that affect the brown culture, the raza, the brown issues. So tune in this Thursday night. And then Friday, we got Mikey's birthday. He's turning 19. Little Mikey's turning 19. He wants to go to SF. So we're going to take a little cruise out there in the Bay Area. Now let's go ahead and get into it without further ado. Look, I'm not livid anymore, and I'm not surprised anymore. I am not surprised by seeing La Raza is quick to cancel their own. It's nothing new. It's the same people that help Hernan Cortez conquer the other brown people, the Mexica. It's the same people that don't even know they're falling into a trap. La Raza ultimately fell into this trap. We ate it. We bought that bit. Hook, line, and sinker, right? Because when it comes to our own, cancel them. And to be honest, I don't know who's next, man. I don't know who's next. But what I do know is it seemed that something did happen. I'm not saying that the powers that be, which are the political powers behind the United Farm Workers Union, I'm not saying their hands are ultimately clean of anything. I never said that. I never said that. You can go back and watch the last live, which hopefully this will be the last one right here, right? Because it really is a tarnishment and it really is a black eye. And the raza didn't help at all, but bought that bit and pushed it along even further. The ones that were gullible, the easy pump-up cases, the weak ones, the spineless ones that couldn't separate a person's morality from the good that they did in the community. Those are the raza that made it about men and women. They made it about Republican and Democrat. They made it about all these things and didn't even know that it looks like a political hit job, But I do believe, I want to keep this a buck with you. I do believe Dolores Huerta, to some extent, we'll talk about that tonight. We'll talk about that tonight because you're probably thinking in your head, well, what do you mean, Mikey? What do you mean you believe Dolores Huerta? I believe Dolores Huerta and I believe the two women. But we're going to get into it tonight, okay? But I'm going to keep more calmado, you guys. The lines are going to be open. I want you guys to chime in because ultimately the time we spend on YouTube Landia, it's with each other and it's for profit. It's para ganar algo, para salir la gente más adelante, right? So you guys can call in. The phone lines are going to be open. I think I'm done with pretty much with the formalities. I really can't wait for that Thursday night show because La Profesora is going to come over here and she's going to lace us all up like some pinche Adidas, okay? That's going to be on Thursday night. And so let me go ahead and pull up a video. We're going to get into it. We're going to continue with the dialogue and hopefully make it well-rounded enough where we lay everything out objectively. That's facts on the table to the people. And then you guys can pick up what you want from it. You could drop what you don't like from it. And then ultimately decide whether we did the right thing by in 72 hours without even hesitating, like nothing. Again, some people, and I get it. I'm a father of daughters. I get it. Some people were like, well, what if it was your daughter? Would you say, why are you telling me now? I get it. People are getting mad, but they don't even know. Those same people that are making it, I'm on her side. I'm on his side. I'm on what's right side. That's what I'm on. Always been like that. Will be like that until the pinchy casket drops on me. I'll tell you that. But the people that fell into the traps, this is a woman thing, a man thing, a Republican thing, a Democrat thing. Pendejos. We got played like a 304 and didn't even know it. Now, that's not everyone. Not the critical thinkers. They didn't get played. Not the objective thinkers. They didn't get played at all. They wanted to hear all the facts, man. I want to give a shout out also to American Cholo. He's another voice out there that he's willing to stand up. American Cholo is willing to stand up and take the bullets. If I got to be one of the few on YouTube Landia that says I put my channel on the line, reputation on the line, credibility on the line, just so we can get the truth out there and the facts, so be it then. And American Cholo is another one that's willing to put it all out there on the line, no matter what kind of little attacks. Oh, okay, cancel this, cancel that, cancel your nalgas. How about that? Because even if they took this pinchy channel down, I will come back, we will come back, and we'll still keep speaking the truth, right? So I want to give a shout out to American Cholo. There's very few voices, gente. Everyone else is, well, not everyone else, but a lot of people are just for entertainment on YouTube. That's cool. If whatever floats your boat, right? Get your podcast on while you're busting machine or whatever you do, right? Anyways, I'm going to go ahead and bring up two videos, right? Tonight, I believe with these two videos, we'll be able to cover the whole spectrum of Cesar Chavez, man. We'll be able to cover everything from his beginnings to his end. I want to be able to cover tonight the main interview with Dolores Huerta. Again, not taking anything away. Absolutely not. We're not taking anything away from Dolores Huerta. Absolutely not. Matter of fact, it's a tragic, horrible case that we have to address. It's horrible. Just like Doctora Jimenez is coming on Thursday, she would probably agree with me that we have to address these things. We can't move forward anymore until we address these things, right? And so I'm going to play two videos. We're going to see Cesar talking back in the 70s. And then I want to see the Dolores Huerta interview, the infamous one that she did, and see what she said. And we're going to put this all together with an even temperament. I'm not going to lose it. Last time I got a little bit hot. I saw that the raza is quick to stab each other, quick to throw each other down on pinche tubo, quick to erase our culture. You know, some of the raza on the internet don't give a fuck. They don't give a fuck. They will erase Selena next. They will erase who else? Because we don't have that many iconic activists. But God forbid, right? If it was, say, MLK, who was known, allegedly, I guess I should say, for having extramarital affairs. Allegedly. This is a different time, right? In the 60s. Powerful men, okay, using their influence, which is not right. And to keep it honest with you, any women that were in those times, back in the 60s, maybe even 50s, maybe even 70s, I don't know. I wasn't born yet, cabrones. I was born in 81. It was a stigma probably to come out and say they were abused. It was probably a stigma. They probably, in the 60s, 50s, 60s, and 70s, when a woman would come forward and say something, they probably would not get believed. They probably would get maybe even mocked and ridiculed. Oh, that happened to you? Oh, you asked for it. Again, these are not my words. This is not my mentality. Absolutely not. We have to take ourselves back to a time when we hear certain things and put it inside of its context, cabrones. Okay? So let's do that tonight. 2 interviews I want to go ahead and talk about, and then go ahead and we'll go from there. All right, let me see. How do I want to see this? All right. This is October 4th of 1974. This interview, right? Well, let me make myself a little bit bigger. Hold on. All right. Before we get to this video, I want to give some context, right? 1974, okay, the farm worker movement is already strong and solid, okay? The farm worker movement came about in 1962, and it was founded by Cesar Chavez and co-founded by Dolores Huerta, 2 of the most influential, if not, let's just keep it a buck. Those 2 right there might be the king and queen, the most influential Chicanos in all of Chicano history. Now, to me, what I just said is an absolute fact. You can't deny it. I mean, who else are you going to tell me that had more influence? What are you going to say? Pinche gallo negro or what? We joke around about that. Santana, gallo negro, blah, blah, blah. That's all bullshit, right? We're talking about Chicano movies there. But we're talking about real people in real life. Cesar Chavez and Dolores Huerta, in my opinion, are, one is living, were, one is posthumous, the most powerful Chicanos to ever live. Okay? Cesar Chavez passed away in 1993 in the most humble pinche casket you could imagine. I seen a video of him carrying him. I mean, the casket was made of nothing but pinche tablas, man. It wasn't even like perfectly matching. One board was sticking out like this. The other board was sticking out like this. Cesar Chavez was a humble man. And even with all the political power that he had, right? Because, again, something smells like a political hit job. That's what it smells like too. Okay, that's a whole nother angle we'll get to when we watch these videos. But in 1962, it was founded by the 2 most powerful Chicanos in history, man. And why does this hit close to home, raza? Look at the name of the pinche channel, man. I take umbrage when they try to shit on the Chicano culture, right? This is the Chicano culture. I'm a first-generation Mexican-American, cabrones. Yes, we're raised in Mexican households. Yes, our moms and abuelitas cook the best damn food in the world, because I believe Mexicans, we got the best food in the world, cabrones. They wore trenzas, they wore huaraches, they did what they had to do. Most of us are here from Salinas. Families are farm workers. This impacts us more than anybody. Because you could be watching from New York and it's a cool conversation. You could be watching from Ohio. Oh, it's a cool conversation. Idaho, Utah, I'm not taking anything away. I know there's raza everywhere, but it's not going to hit close to home unless you're in Monterey County, Salinas, which had a headquarters for the United Farm Workers, or the first headquarters, which is the Central Valley and all of the brothers and sisters that we got out there. These two areas, it hits more than close to home. 1962, it started. Again, most powerful Chicanos in history. One of them is still alive. I give her a lot of credit, man. I give her a lot of credit. Because if the shoe was on the other foot, it might be a whole different story, right? The shoe was on the other foot. But it's not. It's not. Again, I believe Dolores Huerta and I believe the two women, and I will tell you to what extent if you just keep hanging on. After it formed, what really took it off the ground was the grape strike. There was thousands of Filipinos. A lot of people didn't even know that. Los pinche Filipinos también están en el campo. That's right, 98. That's right. I see you. Rednecks, Tex, Mex, Vet. My boy, I appreciate you, man. Georgie, que hable contigo, güey. Fred Castro, nothing but Chicano. Chicano Nation TV. Rose and Karma. Central Cal says we need evidence. We're going to talk about all that tonight, cabrón. The grape strike. Thousands of Filipinos, okay? Getting undermined again. Raza. Getting undermined, right? Well, the Filipino raza, right? I'm not Filipino. Filipino, shout out to them. Getting undermined as far as inequality, right? Now, that took it off. That took the United Farm Workers from a small level cooperative, a small level coalition to catapult it like a jet plane. Cesar Chavez and Dolores Huerta ended up organizing hundreds of volunteers, and it wasn't an easy task, man. A lot of the raza back then, gente, they didn't want to go against the grain. They didn't want to stir the pot. Remember, this is when they're assimilating over to the American culture from their Mexican heritage. And at the same time, like I had Carlos Montes on the channel. Carlos Montes was one of the founders of the Brown Berets. Carlos Montes was gracious enough to come on this channel. Though we might have differing views, he understood that this channel is about providing a voice to the people, man. That's all. Because really, I don't got the time. If we're going to do something on YouTube Landia, let it be productive, man. Carlos Montes said back in the 50s, they were getting calentadas, man. Beat downs. The one time would roll by, you had some khakis and a white shirt, they will jump off, beat you down. Nightsticks. Throw the perros at you. And so they decided to police their own, and thus came the organization called the Brown Berets, right? And so that catapulted everything for the United Farm Workers. They did a strike. Cesar Chavez did a fast. It was 25-day fast, man. 25 days. Ayunando, muerto de hambre. He lost over 30 pounds on this strike, gente. Almost 40 pounds. More than 30 pounds striking for not just La Raza. And remember, in the beginning was low numbers because it was hard to get someone to kick against the pricks because a lot of the raza was just happy to be in the United States and not get pinche pesos, Mexico money. Some of you guys in your careers are working to get $100, $200, $300 a day, right? Maybe $400 or $500, I don't know. Let's just say average $100 to or $300 a day in labor, in wages, right? Well, that's not Mexico. Mexico, they're getting paid $10 to $20 a day. So for them to come over here, right, like the Braceros program, was a blessing. Even though Cesar Chavez was really against the Braceros program. If you want, I'll explain that. Cesar Chavez didn't want any more labor to come from Mexico because Cesar Chavez was looking out primarily, number one, for the Chicano. Let's keep it a buck, man. Let's keep it a buck, right? Because right now we're in a time where people want to be, oh, I'm more for the raza than you. Oh, I'm downer than you for la raza. And I don't know what the fuck is going on with the internet, but it seems like everyone wants to show that they're downer for the raza than the next person. When in real life, they're not marching for shit. They're not standing for nothing. They're not going to city council meetings. They're not even passing out food, blankets, or nothing. These are these online brown activists that only do it online. It's real sexy. I guess it's real sexy to do it online, right? You get a shitload of followers, people commenting. Everyone loves a comment, right? Little dopamine fix. Hey, you're doing the right thing. That's fine. That's right. All good, right? All good. More power to them. If they're really doing that, like the Bible says, don't let the left hand know what the right hand is doing. More power to them, because that's how really God will bless, right? But Cesar Chavez and Dolores Huerta really put boots on the ground. 25-day fast. He got the Filipinos. He got the movement going. Robert Kennedy, not RFK Jr., who's in office right now as the Secretary of Health, right? That's a way he really did something real positive. Two things that he did real positive, RFK Jr. He flipped the food pyramid upside down. Sas. Right? Because they've always been lying to us, cabrones, that we need to eat more grains, we need less salt, we need less fat, and we need less meat. When it's actually vice versa. You need more fat, you need more meats, you need more sodium and salt, and you need less grain and less carbohydrates, right? So that is what he did, one, good. And the second thing is the schedule para los niños en cuántas veces se tienen que picar. By the time they're like 3 years old, or I think it's 4 or 5, no matter what, by the time before they're in school, they want tu hijo que lo piquen 75 times. 75 times to a healthy baby boy and a healthy baby girl. Does that make sense? So those two things, I agree with RFK Jr. You don't got to like who's in the White House. Shit. Who you vote for, I really don't give a shit who you vote for. Vote for a fucking cow. Vote for a pinche unicorn for all I care. What I do care about is policies, because policies is what's going to help la raza in the community. The hardworking raza. Not talking about the internet raza. We're now... I'm done being mad at the internet raza. I know they will cancel the shit out of the whole culture and not even skip a step. They will cancel Selena. They'll cancel Chente. Let's cancel Pancho. Let's cancel Emiliano. And then what do we got left? What do we got left? You're proud of that? You're going to pat yourself on the back for completely erasing our culture? What do we got left? No sean pendejos, cabrones. Cancel them. Don't cancel us. All right. So I just want to give a little history. We're going to watch this interview. Let me move off. I'm blocking. The comments are blocking it. I drink iced tea. That's right. Stamp Boy, 5 of a Kind Media. I appreciate you, cabrones. The phone number is there if you want to voice your opinion. Again, I'll be putting out a poll every single Sunday, and then that way, whatever you guys want to talk about, immigration, politics, tax fraud, a scandal, whatever it is, just something, let's let it be something productive that's really going to move us forward, man, because we're spending time on YouTube Landia, so shit, let it be for something, okay? And so after he did that fast, 25-day fast, he lost almost 40 pounds. Robert Kennedy flew out to him, man. One of the most iconic photos is Robert Kennedy and Cesar Chavez after the fast. And guess what was born? One of the most powerful organizations that Chicanos, or the most powerful organization that Chicanos have had. Chicanos have been trying to reassemble. We've been trying. The thing that holds us back from really reassembling is us. Is not the gabacho. I know a lot of people are on the internet, los gabachos, and I'm oppressed and I can't get a job, and you want to blame the gabachos and the gabacho. That's one of the reasons we can't unite, man. Los gabachos, or los morenos, or los chinos, or whatever you want to say, right? One of the reasons we can't unite is because of ourselves, man. The closest we ever got, we had a glimmer of hope. Just a small little pinchy glimmer of hope. The only glimmer of hope we had to unite, I got to keep it a buck with you, was American Cholo. American Cholo, he gave everything he could into trying to unite. And I'm not saying that that's something past tense. Shit, that might be something we need to pick up again. So if AC, if you hear this, get at me. We might have to pick that up again and put some pinche leña on this fire like a freight train and throw some coal in it this time. And this thing is smashing everyone that wants to get in the way of it. But guess what? Everyone that wants to jump on board and advance la raza in the right direction, you could get at us. So let's go ahead and play this interview. I wanted to just give some context on the United Farm Workers because this is one of the most controversial interviews. And there's a lot of what's happening now that I believe are political innuendos, right? Because obviously Dolores Huerta, she was a speaker at the DNC, the Democratic National Convention. Again, I'm not here to try to persuade you on your pinchy politics. I could give a shit about your politics, just like I could give a shit about who you go to bed with. That's none of my business. Just like I don't care how much money is in your bank. That's none of my business. None of these things, who you vote for, are anybody's business. I want to just lay that out. But we know that Dolores Huerta and Cesar Chavez were pretty much left DNC Democratic heroes, right? The Democratic Party, okay, I'm not saying the Republicans don't do this. They do this a little bit less, right? They pander to the people a lot. Let's just keep this a buck. The Democratic Party will use who they can use, wring them out like a mop, a la chingada, and then on to the next gimmick. That's true. That's a fact. But some of the views, like we're going to play in this video right now, this video I got loaded up right here, some of the views that you're going to hear him say, and warning, cabrones. If you have sensitive nalgas, then this might not be the pinche stream for you, because here we don't have no filter. Here, Mikey's not sold, bought by anyone. No one got receipt on me. There's no puppet master telling me what to say and what to do. I'm going to say lo que me da la pinche gana. And that's it. That's it. Okay. So, but some of the views that Cesar Chavez held, it seems real convenient to get the marketing machine of mainstream media and all these legacy media and all these huge 6-7 platforms that control most of the media. It's a real convenient thing to do to wipe him away, right? Get the news machine, which is the machine. It's a machine, gente. Because obviously the raza fell in the trap. They fell into it and didn't even know it. It's kind of like when they're having protests, right? I said this when motherfuckers were burning down cities. I said, cabrones, no sean pendejos. How is burning down our community going to get us a voice at the table? And then all of a sudden at these protests, you start seeing pallets. We're like, wait a second. Who the hell is dropping off pallets of cinder blocks? You start seeing pallets of gas masks. You start seeing pallets of bricks. You start seeing U-Haul trucks of people passing shit out. And I'm like, wait a second. Somebody wants us to burn our communities down. Who is it? Who is it? Think about that. Think about that. And it's very convenient to cancel Cesar Chavez now, because if Cesar Chavez was alive, I'm just going to keep it a buck with you. I'm going to keep it a buck with you. If Cesar Chavez was alive, we're going to hear in this interview right here, he was anti-immigration. I mean, what are you going to do? Are you going to blame somebody from speaking from their heart? Or are you going to get your little political nalgas all up in a bunch? Well, fuck that, fuck this, and fuck that, la raza, and other. That sounds real sexy and cool for the internet. Real sexy and cool for the internet. But Cesar Chavez only had one thing and one thing in mind, and that was Chicanos and how to advance Chicanos here in the United States, because shit, we had it bad for a long time, man. So, warning, warning, warning. You're going to hear him say wetback. You're going to hear him say wetback. And to any Chicano, this might not be everyone, but to any Chicano that grew up around Mexicanos, don't act like you've never heard that word before. Calma tu pedo, okay? Calma tu pedo, man. Am I saying it's right to say that word? No, I'm not saying it's right. I'm just saying get your little cancel nalgas out of it and just know that it's a word that gets said. There, I said it. Is it right? Is it wrong? Motherfuckers try to jump on people on the internet and cancel them, cancel them. He said wetback, cancel them, cancel your nalgas. Anyways, so this is the interview. Let's go ahead and hear the man that it just sounds like it was a convenient time to get the marketing machine of it, which we know are controlled by güeros. I'm not knocking the güeros. Shout out to the gabachos. Shout out to the güeros. We have a lot that subscribed over to the channel. But it's just very convenient for us to fall into the trap and them to pump this man and to cancel him, because if he was alive today, he probably would be a conservative. I'm going to say this too, whether you want to hear it or not, cabrones. MLK, okay, who had strong allegations, extramarital affairs. Again, I don't agree with that. I don't fuck with that at all. Me, how I teach my boys, because I have boys, I teach my boys to the most high-value man is a one-woman man. That's a high-value man. That's what I teach my sons. One woman, that's it. I do, and honor it because it's a covenant between you, that woman, and God. Okay? So anyways, I'm not for that. Let's go ahead and watch this video, and let's go from here. Hold on, give me a second. Hold on. All right, let's go. Cesar Chavez, 1974.
This question of the illegals I find very interesting. Would you say that it's, at this particular moment, as important as any of the other problems facing the union?
Oh, yes. In the last 3 weeks, last 2 weeks, it has become an emergency for us. There's an awful lot of illegals coming in by the hundred, by the
thousands. Is it just me, or does that sound real low?
Not only in some of the crews where there is now strike breaking, some of those crews are 100% illegals.
That sounds real low. Hold on. Let me go ahead and refresh it, gente. My bad. Because that sounded way too low. I'm like, what the hell's going on? Let me just check the audio, make sure we got good levels. My bad, gente. My bad, cabrones. Output. Input. Testing 1, 2. Okay. Let's go back to the video.
Would you say that it's, at this particular moment, as important as any of the other problems facing the union?
Oh, yes. In the last 3 weeks, it's become, the last 2.
Okay, no. Let's look at another one, because that one sounded way too low. Cesar. Wait. Okay, give me a second. Cesar.
The Mexican government to bring the Bracero program again. It's a vicious attack on the local worker, and it's just one of those things that agribusiness thinks they can get away with it. And our job is to inform the whole country what's happening together with a boycott and solve it that way. And so the workers themselves, even though a lot of them are Mexican descendancy themselves, are very uptight and very, very worried and very mad about the illegals coming to break their strikes, and it takes away their jobs, their livelihood, and so forth.
Okay, so stop right there. So obviously there are people that get triggered right away, right? Again, we're in the internet age, right? Oh, everyone wants to be the downest for la raza. I'm downer than you for la raza. I stand more for la raza. I'm browner than you, and blah, 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 blah. So they will hear someone like him and be like, whoa, illegals? Well, yeah, it's a fucking word. What do you want to say? It's in the law books, illegals. Now, I know I get a lot of flack, right? I get a lot of flack. Mikey, don't say that word. We're on stolen land. That's, what do they say? Someone messaged me one time, you have the colonizers mentality. And I'm like, maybe I do. Am I colonized? Okay, la chingada, right? I'm colonized, lo que sea. But how are you going to reverse? This is hundreds and thousands of years when we're trying to advance our familias and our cultura. We're trying to move forward. And what do you want to do? Go back to the pinche temple times? Start cutting pinche gente's cabezas off and shit like that and throw them down the pinche stairs of the temple? We don't roll like that. Just like the original brown berets from the 60s. We can't roll like that. We can't go out there and start wanting to knock pinche Huertas down and that shit don't work anymore. What we have to do is unite, get political power, get in positions where we can make change and advance. But again, he's saying the word illegal a lot. Is there a problem with that? I don't know. Some people say illegal on stolen land. I get that. I'm trying to bring Wayward Son back on the channel so we can have a conversation about this and really deep dive into it, you guys. I'm excited, man. I want to bring him on. That'll actually be his third or his fourth appearance on ChicanoTube, man. But is there a problem saying illegal? The fucking internet will have a problem with it. The internet has a problem with everything. I guess that's what's beautiful about the internet. Everyone and anyone can be on the pinchy internet. Voice your voice, man. Here, we got a phone line that's open. You can call up the phone line. You don't have to hide behind a comment. Call the phone line up. Let's have a conversation. Because anyone that wants to challenge me to a conversation, as long as you're level-headed and intelligent, we can have a conversation, right? But if you want to stay stuck back in time and you want to go back to the days before Hernan Cortez came to the shores of Mexico and did what he did, and you're hell-bent on that, and you're just like the colonizer, I'm like, my boy, how's that working out for you? Because it's not going to work out for us in 2026, man. We're in a two political system in the United States. We need to get in position where we can make some real pinchy change. So he's saying illegal. People are getting their panties in a bunch. He's saying wetback. The internet's getting their panties all up in a bunch. Are these words that get said? They're words that are spoken. Am I lying? Oh, no, that's not me. Oh, I remember on the Hater World, pinchy Hater World, they tried to go after Opina. And some lyric that he did on, I don't know how many years ago, or on 7 years ago. I think he said a CD he did 7 years ago, and he said a word. And the internet was so quick to try to go after Pinche Opina. And you said this, you said this, you said that. Psh, a mí me la pelan. I'm going to keep it a buck. The people, half of them are robots. Half of them are in their mom's pinchy basements. And the other half ain't doing shit with their lives. So why would you want to take advice from someone that's in a lower position than you? That doesn't mean don't respect them. But I don't take advice from people that are looking up to me. I take advice from people that I look up to. Vice versa, right? So people are mad he's saying illegals, but he's also mentioned the word braceros, right? Cesar Chavez put an end to the bracero program. 100%. 100%. Because remember, I know the bracero. I'm going to have to lace you guys up on the bracero program. The bracero program was basically the United States who was short on labor. Okay? And they did a deal with Mexico because most of the sons and most of the fathers had died in the war. The war was a gacho war. I'm talking about World War II, right? One was gacho II, but two, it really cracked off. And the United States got in there like swimwear, right? And so they did a contract for cheap labor. Let's keep it a buck. I'm just keeping it honest because I'm not knocking them. I love the insignia. I love que brown power, los braceros, viva los braceros and all. Yeah, absolutely. I know some too. I know some people whose families, matter of fact, Jenny Selby, she just called right now. She was the first caller that called in, Jenny La Chicana from San Diego. She's a day oneer. Her father was a bracero. So they ended up getting cheap labor from Mexico. Okay? And what does bracero mean? That means the motherfuckers with guns. You know what I mean? Matter of fact, my father-in-law, okay? My wife says that they used to call my father-in-law El Brazudo. Because my father-in-law in his days had guns for days. But Cesar Chavez was not for exploiting the people for cheap labor. So Cesar Chavez put an end to the bracero program, organized Chicanos, and said, we're going to get what los gabachos are getting paid. Even though it was a slow process, it was decade after decade, it definitely didn't come overnight. But we finally got a voice in this united farm worker movement. Again, with Dolores Huerta, which we're going to see her interview next. Excuse me. So get your panties in a bunch. He's saying illegals and wetbacks and all that, but the internet don't give a shit. You know what I mean?
Does that put you in an uncomfortable position to be
Some
against
slick back hair.
the illegal immigrants because they are from Mexico? In other words, part of your program has been an appeal to equal treatment of people of Mexican origin, right?
Oh, yeah, sure, but we're speaking of the legal ones. You know, we don't want Mexico to export its poverty to us, and then we pay. It's not the agriculture, it's not society in general, it's a farm worker, again, paying for those sins, you know. And Mexico should take the initiative and stop exporting the poverty to us. They should do something about the rural economy over there.
Okay, is there something wrong with what he said? I mean, is there something wrong with what he said? I'm asking the people right here. We got Manos in the Casa, Fred Castro, Texan Sun. I drink iced tea, Alpha Red. Is there something wrong with what he said? Basically, he's saying the sad reality. It's a real sad reality in Mexico. And I could speak on this, gente. I go to Mexico about 4 or 5 times, okay? Don't hear this from a pendejo that, you know, talk about la cultura. They don't even go, you know, they don't even visit Mexico. Let alone, unos ni hablan español, ni pueden hablar con la pinche gente, right? But I go down there. I'm in touch. I'm in tune with the people. I go down there. In Mexico, whether you know this or not, I'm going to lace you up on some game. There is no middle class in Mexico. There is no middle class, right? My bad. I'm missing a lot of comments. In Mexico, you either have money, were born into money, or you got to get it out of the mud. In Mexico, if you're not on the pinche bus at 4:30 in the morning to go and slave all day for some pinche frijoles, guess what? Your family doesn't eat for that day. That's why we're the hardest working raza. I know some people get mad at that. Oh, you know. I had someone up. When I said that last time, I had someone message me, Mikey, I work in the oil fields. Mikey, I work in American Iron Steel and pinche Pontiac. Mikey, I work in my... Cálmate. I might be a little bit biased on that one, but I think it's already in our DNA. We've always had to get it out of the pinche lodo. We had to create it when it wasn't there. And why? because it's in our blood. So there's no middle class in Mexico. So what is Cesar Chavez saying? I know people are getting mad. Illegals, a la chingada. Obviously, he didn't take a pro-immigration stance. To each his own. You don't have to like it, but you should respect it, man. Because this guy is the biggest Chicano icon that we'll ever have. You know? Some people are like, oh, fucking Oscar de la Hoya, Mario Lopez, a la chingada. Cálmate con tu Oscar de la Hoya. Cálmate con tu Mario Lopez, okay? And so when he ended the Bracero program, that means they were coming over here for cheap labor, and he's saying that there's people, Mexicanos, that were willing to get exploited in order to just make ends meet. And that's a sad, sad reality. You know what I mean? I'm going to give you an example, gente. They've been doing this thing once a year. I think maybe it's been trending for like 3-4 years now. It's called A Day Without a Mexican. Okay? Un pinche day without a Mexican. And I'm like, when I heard that, no, serio pedo. When I heard them say a day without a Mexican, I'm like, tu abuela, a day without a Mexican. What are you talking about, man? I can't even believe we go along with this shit, man. This is already dándonos cachetadas in the pinche face. What do you mean a day without a Mexican? But anyways, that's a whole nother topic, right? Where we're letting people pull our strings and we don't even know it, man. I say we, I'll include myself in there because I don't want you guys to think, oh, pinche Mikey, he thinks he's above. He thinks he's high and mighty. I'll, for the sake of the argument, include myself in la pinche bola, el montón, okay? They come up with this a day without a Mexican, right? And this day without a Mexican is supposed to impact the economy. So que the U.S. economy will feel what it is to not have a Mexicano working for their business, stimulating the economy, which stimulates local businesses, which obviously stimulates everything, right? Spending money, U.S. money in the U.S. helps us, right? And you know what happens when they do a day without a Mexican? You know what happens? Let me tell you what happens. A day without a Mexican. The people that call off work, they don't go to their jobs. Oh, it's a day without a Mexican. Yeah, you know. Hey, to each his own. That's your conviction. I'm not saying don't do it. Do what you want, cabrones. Do exactly what you want, man. You're in a country where you can do what you want. So do what you want. Dale gas, whatever floats your boat. You know what happens when it's a day without a Mexican? Well, people call in sick and they don't go to work. But then you know what else happens? Mexicanos les vale madre. And I'm talking about Mexicanos. They don't care about your little fucking internet movements, your little internet marches, your little internet, I'm a brown activist, your internet little, I'm down for la raza, your little, all these little internet antics that don't amount to a hill of beans. They don't give a shit. You know what the Mexicanos do? They're like, oh shit, this is a day where there's a lot of work because a lot of people are calling in sick because they have families to feed. So the pinche Mexicanos go out there. They go out there to the Home Depots. They go out there where they're supposed to be and stand, and they work y aprovechan de gente. So it's not right that la raza to get used and exploited for cheap labor and the United Farm Workers put an end to the Braceros program. If you think that's right or if you think that's wrong, drop a pinche comment. Let's keep it going.
And then, see, it's a way of breaking the strike. It's a way of demoralizing the farm workers. And for instance, the workers are going to ask for stamps, for food stamps. They're lining up the offices for welfare, and they're being told, we can't give you a job because there are plenty of jobs. And the workers say, well, there aren't any jobs. We just came from the fields. They won't hire us, or they just laid us off because either because we're strikers, or because we're members of the union, or because the braceros, the illegals will do the job for half the money we're getting.
Damn. Manos, what's up, man? They need us. Absolutely, cabrón. No, don't get it twisted, man. That's why I say we're the hardest working raza, pinche manos. Absolutely, man. And we're in everywhere now. I hate when these pinche politicians pander to us, cabrón. I could play those clips all day long. It's usually mostly it's Democrats, but Republicans también, they pander to us también, way. But more Democrats, they do it shamefacedly, ¿verdad? Who's going to clean our toilets? Who's going to mow our grass? Who's going to do this and do that? Shit, man. I never heard some more racist shit in my life than a pinche gabacho or a gabacha. This was actually on a talk show, like 5 people, and they were saying, well, who's going to clean our fucking toilets? Tu abuela can clean your pinche toilet. How about that? So, yeah, they need us, cabrón. Okay, so he says, fucking Cesar Chavez, man. Again, I'm not making light of the SA allegations. I believe Dolores Huerta and those 2 women. To what extent? Stick around. We got Dolores Huerta's interview next. Next, I'm playing her interview. But I want to glean some things out of this. I want to just give it to the people, man. Okay? Because I think we're going to be done after this. Because the raza already showed how weak they are. The raza already showed how easy pump-up manipulating cases they are. The raza already showed that they will shit on their whole culture. Selena's next week. Chenta's the week after. Pancho Villa's the week after. Emiliano Zapata's the week after. Mario Lopez is after. De La Hoya's out. All of them are after, and the raza loves it. We love to go after our own people. I'm going to try to calm down. The last video, my blood pressure got up. I felt like I was in Mexicali, 122-degree weather. I'm trying to calm down, and I'm going to accept the fact that the internet raza is spineless and weak. They won't stand up. They don't want to question anything. They fall right into the traps. Oh, you're against women. You're against men. This is a red thing. This is a blue thing. No, this is none of those things. This is what's right is right, and what's wrong is wrong. So he said, pinche Cesar Chavez, man. I'm telling you, a post-hummus political hit job is what it smells like. Why? Because if he was alive today, he wouldn't be at no DNC. He wouldn't be at a left-wing rally. They wouldn't even show him for shit on their television shows because he sounds like a conservative. What Republicans are today, and again, I don't give a shit how you vote. I really don't give a shit. Just like I don't give a shit who you go to bed with or how much money's in your bank. I don't give a shit, you know. The Republicans are today were the Democrats of 40, 50 years ago. They just changed camps. And again, we're in a 2-party system. What are you going to do? You can be like one of these pendejos. Well, I'm not going to vote for anyone. Okay, well, then don't complain. Because then all day long we hear you complaining, this and that, and this motherfucker, and that politician, and this and that. But you didn't vote. So why say shit? Don't say nothing. He's pinchy, Cesar Chavez. So obviously he's anti-immigration. We know that, right? But again, look at the work that he did, man. You at least have to respect his voice. Again, am I saying he has clean hands? Absolutely not. But if you want to go down that rabbit hole, keep the same energy. For anyone else, because I'll name you a list until I'm blue in the face. We'll be here till 10 o'clock tonight. And I'll name you a list of people. You won't cancel them. But in a second, you won't even hesitate, huh? Or you'll fall into the puppet master's plan. Oh, you're for men. Oh, you're for women. Oh, this is red. Oh, this is blue. And what's the ultimate goal? Erase our pinchy culture, man. A lot of you fell into that trap. A lot of you. Let's keep that a buck. Anyway, so he's saying, what do people do when they come? He's saying, the United States hooks people up. I mean, let's just keep it a buck, man. You can milk the system. You can come over here immediately from another country. I don't know if you knew this or not. I'm just going to tell you some cold reality. And this is really, it affects our pocketbooks. This is not a morale issue. This is not a political issue. None of that shit. These are all the traps that they want us to fall into to keep dividing ourselves. This is none of that shit. But people come to the United States and immediately when they get here, like SARS, immediately $1,000 in food stamps, $1,000 in cash aid, $1,000 on welfare. They put you in affordable housing, which I'm not against affordable housing. I have a couple affordable housing properties that I flipped into tax credit. Most of them are farm worker properties. Again, I'm not one of these trying to be one of these pendejos that, oh, I got this, I got that. Chavez Street, man. You better humble yourself because we're all going to go to the same pinchy hole in the ground. I don't give a shit. You want to go like El Mencho in a gold casket, then go to the hole in a gold casket. Or you could be humble like Cesar Chavez, and he went to the ground in a pinchy casket of tablas, wasn't even. You could even see the nails and all that shit because he did what is it called? Michael, what's his name? Cruz de Madera. I forgot what's his name. Oh, man, that's a bad rola. The guy out of Texas. Cruz de Madera. Humble. Anyways, they come and that causes a ripple effect on the economy. Your taxes go up, gente, the more people get on welfare. Your taxes go up, the more people get on food stamps. Your taxes go up, the more people get on Medi-Cal. California went over budget by billions of dollars to give out free health care. Now, again, universal health care, whole nother topic, man. Do I think people deserve to live? Are you fucking nuts? Are you kidding me? Don't ask me a stupid question like that. Of course people deserve to live, okay? But we're in a system. What are you going to do? What are you going to do? Burn the fucking planet down? Burn the continent down? Anyways, so that obviously he's mostly thinking of jobs getting taken from Chicanos. That's all he was thinking about was Chicanos, man. All he ate, slept, and breathed was the Chicano movement, which back then was in his heyday. The Chicano movement back then, they're sending our sons to Vietnam. They weren't sending most of los güeros. They were sending back then what they called minorities, which could have been true because we were probably the minority back then. But we should never be saying the word minority today. I'll tell you that. Never. Because nowadays in 2026, we're absolutely not the minority, especially in California. We make up about 40 to 45% of the majority of California. If we would just unite, understand that concept, get it together, we could really be a pinchy powerhouse. But again, the internet and the news pumps up a lot of people, man. A lot of people. Anyways, let's go back to this. So that's what happens. That's why he said that, right? Anyways, we're going to keep it moving. I want to see. Let me see.
Much. It would
all right. This, gente, I'm about to play. This is, let's get to Dolores Huerta. Again, possibly the most powerful Chicana in history, man. Has a lot of power, man. And she used that power to do a lot of good, man. It's still doing a lot of good at 95. She's about to turn 96 on April 10th, gente. It blows me away, her cognitive skills. Her cognitive skills, I mean, we had a president in 46, the last pinchy president who I call Weekend at Bernie's. We had the last president, Weekend at Bernie's. That dude wasn't even half of Dolores Huerta where she's at right now. Sharp, strong, and still very influential and charismatic, right? I'm going to say a couple things because these are just facts. I want to put facts out to the people. That way the people can decide for themselves. Do I believe Dolores Huerta? I do, to an extent. Do I believe those women? I do. And you will hear as I play this interview to what extent and why I say I believe the women. This is not male versus female. People are falling in that trap, man. Oh, you're quick. Da, 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 da. wait a second, man. You know, if your pinche abuelito wasn't alive and they came to the familia, your abuelito did this, your abuelito, well, the fucking abuelito's not here, for one. And two, can you give me some evidence? A DNA test? We don't even know shit right now. We don't have no DNA test. We haven't seen no pictures of no children, nothing. If you go on the internet, it still says Dolores Huerta has 11 children. It doesn't say 13. It says 11 children. But again, this is because the breaking news that we have right now. So let me lay out some facts. Yes, Jenny Selby, she did allure to a lawsuit. DHF, the Dolores Huerta Foundation, again, putting facts out there. I'm just putting facts out there, right? Doesn't just have one lawsuit right now. They have multiple lawsuits, but it's understandable. Large, just like the DNC, the RNC, these large political entities have chingo de lawsuits. Part of their annual budget has to be legal fees because you're going to get sued, because you're going to be a target, because you got a shitload of money. And the United Farm Workers, DHF, Cesar Chavez Foundation, Dolores Huerta Foundation, you know how much money? It's just reported online. You could believe it or not, but this is the pinchy internet. You know how much money they have online? Just, this is public record. Hundreds of millions of dollars. Maybe you didn't know that. So the lawsuit, Jenny Selby called in La Chicana. The lawsuit she was talking about and alluring to was the latest lawsuit was, her name was Ruth Sanchez. She was talking about just getting targeted and getting ran out of her job. And she is naming Dolores Huerta and other people as complicit in this move. But I don't know to what extent, or I don't know why, or I don't even know if it's justified, to be completely honest with you. But there is a lawsuit, right? So the timing of a lawsuit during this revelation of this information doesn't really become a factor to me. But that's just me. If it's a factor to you, maybe there's something you know and I don't know. Well, the line's open. Okay, the line's open. But what is a factor is, one, she did an interview, Dolores Huerta, where she said she stood up for, it was a woman, a young woman that was not getting paid by the supervisor. And the reason the supervisor didn't want to pay this young woman's labor is because he was attracted to her. And this pinchy weirdo, okay, because we're 100% against weirdos. I don't give a shit who you are. I don't give a shit if you're the most iconic pendejo in the world. We're never going to promote or be for pinchy weirdos or people crossing the line when it comes to women and children. Okay, we're going to get to that. And she said that she told Cesar Chavez about this, that this guy told this girl in one of the labor camps, if you don't do me an S favor, you know what I mean, friends with benefits favor, then I'm not going to pay you. Dolores Huerta said she went to Cesar Chavez and told Cesar Chavez what this pinche mayordomo was doing to this young lady. And at the next meeting, he said Cesar Chavez saw this dude, these are Dolores Huerta's words. She said, Cesar saw this dude. As soon as he saw this dude, he stopped talking. He went up to this dude, walked out of the building with him. She said, Dolores Huerta said this. If I'm lying, I'm dying. She said, when he came back, you can tell that dude tucked his tail between his legs and Cesar chastised him. So that's just one instance of Cesar Chavez. It sounds like Dolores Huerta is saying he's standing up for women. Okay? There was another instance. These are all online interviews. I could play them for hours. Dolores Huerta, in another instance, said this. She said, back then, los pinche hombres would make a lot of comments against women. shit, I believe her. I mean, whole different fucking time. And that's why I understand why women were also in a box and couldn't come forward, because they wouldn't believe them. If a woman back then, this is those days, right? They would come forward. There was no Me Too back then. They would come forward. Hey, this happened to me. They'll look at them like, like you're a hussy or this, or they wouldn't believe them, right? So Dolores Huerta said she would jot down the number of times that they would make these sexist comments in their meetings. And then she said, at the end of one meeting, she stood up and said, I counted 50, just to let everybody know in this room. This is Dolores Huerta, who I believe when she said this. I believe she has backbone. That's why some of this story doesn't add up to me. It doesn't add up. She said in that meeting, she stood up, I counted all the sexist comments you guys have made in this meeting, 58 of them. I got them written down in my book. And then she said everyone was stunned and shocked. Oh, what in the world? This Chicana don't play. Which, more power to her, right? And then she said they started toning it down. The next meeting, 20 sexist comments. The next meeting, 15, 10, 5, until she said Cesar Chavez bodyguard came up to her and said, whatever you said worked, because now everybody's checking themselves before they go into these meetings. Good. Good. More power to her. More power to her, right? But here's the thing. Knowing she has the backbone to do that, right? She said she reported a problem to Cesar. He addressed it. She was in a room and was checking the men for watching their pinche lengua, talking about, women, because obviously it's a different time, ¿verdad? But you're telling me that she never heard rumors or rumblings of inappropriate contact between leaders and women? I don't buy that. I don't believe that. I don't think that's true. But that's just my opinion. You don't have to believe what I say. I just want to know the facts. So let's go over to this interview again. The most powerful Chicana in the United States. Let's hear what she has to say.
You know what I mean? Setting up health clinics for farm workers, so many cooperatives,
But geniuses can be flawed.
Yeah, that's the sad thing.
You didn't know about these other women.
No, and you always have a little suspicion there. You know what I mean? But,
Oh, wait a second. Wait. Oh, hell no. I don't believe that, man. I don't believe she didn't know. I don't believe that she didn't at least hear, okay, what these men are doing. Again, I don't think anybody's hands are clean in this situation. Nobody's hands are clean. But I understand her being the vice president and co-founder of now is a political machine, and back then caught so much steam that you wouldn't want to endanger the movement from derailing, but at what expense? Nothing should be more important than speaking the truth. Nothing. I don't care about your political party. I don't care about money, because obviously, I'm just going to keep it a buck. I believe Dolores Huerta is fully funded fully funded by the Democratic Party. I believe so. She's at rallies. She goes to the DNC. Again, I don't give a shit who you vote for, man. I'm a conservative, but that's just me. I'm not trying to shove that shit down your throats. But I believe she's fully funded. She can't say, even now, I feel she can't say what she wants. She has to watch her words and filter them through a political agenda. That's just how I feel. I could be totally wrong. I'm a human. I miss it. I can miss it too. And I'll admit if I miss it. But I don't think that's the case. You didn't hear? Now, she said there was some suspicion. To me, the truth is in that statement. That's where so you guys, this is what I said. I believe Dolores Huerta. To what extent? I'll let you know to what extent and what she's saying, what I believe. I don't believe she never heard anything about powerful men taking advantage of mujeres. I don't believe that. I do believe she heard rumors and suspicions. Let's go.
You know, but no, I didn't know.
Damn. Something in the body language. Or maybe I'm gonna make that a whole lot bigger. Jesus, coffee, planning. That's right, amiga. I appreciate you for tapping in. Jesus, coffee, and planning. So some body language kind of 101 that you learn, especially those of us that have been to the pinta. I mean, chingado, I hate to say it, ¿verdad? Is you learn to study this Lucky Sun Tzu. Shout out to Lucky Sun Tzu. Art of War, Sun Tzu, Machiavelli. You start reading all these things. Pinchy Lucky. And shout out to Hoodstock. Shout out to Jen. Shout out to Loca. We're going to have Mexican Independence Day fights. It's going to be on Mexican Independence Day. We're going to be back in LA. You guys, if you guys are a content creator, IG, TikTok, Facebook, YouTuber, and you want to throw chingazos, it'll definitely get some exposure on you, up your brand. Go ahead and get a hold of me, Chicano Tube on all platforms. I say that because Loca is the official ring girl. She's the official ring girl of Content Creator Series of Fighting. And I think I'm going to jump on one of those Fools Gone Wild cards. I feel like my itch is coming back. I want to throw some chingazos. So I'm going to get at the Godfather Fu. I don't know what else to call him. Godfather Fu. And see if he'll let me on one of those cards. But anyways, I said that you study these books and it teaches you body language. It even says this in psychology. You can Google it, ask ChatGPT, or go the old school way and read a book. Anytime someone looks to the upper right while they're talking to you, this is just what psychology says, okay? I'm just giving the facts out. You could swallow it or spit it and do what the hell you want with it, right? Anytime anyone goes to the upper left with their eyes, they're not telling the truth. Again, you don't have to believe me. You don't have to believe me. Let's go.
Tell me about your concern for these other women, young women.
I mean, that is a major concern, to think that this is happening and this is so prevalent, and that in our society that this evil exists, and it's so widespread, you know, and something that really needs to be addressed, you know. And it's that people don't talk about it because, you know, I think it's too shameful, I think, for women. And God knows that we've got to do more to protect women and girls, especially girls, you know. But we're supposed to be an advanced society, but yet the way that we treat women, you know, it's so wrong.
Why have you chosen to speak up now?
Oh, because the New York Times story came out, and you know, for all of the years that I spent organizing the farm worker movement, you know, that I had even started organizing farm workers before Cesar and I started to form the union under the other organization that we built.
Now that I absolutely know without a shadow of a doubt that it is the truth that she's telling right there. Remember I told you I believe Dolores Huerta. To what extent? I'm going to tell you what I believe and what I don't believe as I play this interview. I absolutely believe that her coming out was a reaction to the New York Times story, because the first New York Times story, before she sat down the very next day, she sat down to do this interview. The New York Times story said United Farm Workers, Cesar Chavez, and Dolores Huerta are all accused. All accused. So to me, it makes me think like, why didn't this come out during the Me Too movement? In 2019, she spoke at a university, and the topic was sex abuse, and it covered a wide spectrum of sex things, and it was basically bringing awareness to like it was in the middle of the Me Too movement, 2019. So she just spoke on that topic, but still nothing about Cesar Chavez was mentioned. That's the only thing I'm really trying to just put two and two together, because there are normalities and there are abnormalities. And these are abnormalities, I would think, right? Because another abnormality would be you had relations with the man 2 times, and both those times you got pregnant. What are the odds? Some people have said maybe it wasn't 2 times, that there was instances. Again, I don't know. Maybe it was a fling for a couple years that led to 2 children. I don't know. Again, solo Dios sabe. I'm just trying to make it make sense. If this were to go before a judge, he would want the facts and rule off the facts. That's all my train of thought is right there. It's not, oh, Mikey, que las mujeres. None of that shit. I'm just trying to line it up. She made that speech during the Me Too movement. Perfect time. Cesar is already in the grave. Perfect time to say, Me Too. Which, let me just empower the women a little bit, because here on Chicano Tube, most of the ladies have wrenches in the comment section. Most of them do, because I want them to protect themselves from weirdos. Here we stand for women. Here we stand for daughters. Here we don't cross lines when it comes to women or daughters. Absolutely not. I can name pendejo after pendejo on the internet that does that, but I won't, because that's not even beneficial to anybody anyways. But here, we don't stand for that. Yeah, I want to lay that out there.
Belong to. And so, this is out, and so it's time for me to tell my secret also.
Also, these women were going to be alone in their claims and their allegations, and you wanted to support them?
Absolutely. And I just want to thank them and applaud them for their courage. This is so hard. God knows what they had to go through,
I just, again, it's something is, something's just coming off so scripted, man. It's, I don't feel it flowing. I feel like she's filtering everything she's saying through a political innuendo. I don't know. It could just be me. I don't know. But let's go.
Have you spoken to them?
I haven't yet, because I know they're going through a lot. I know they're going.
Oh, wait a second. See, why not? Oh, damn it, man. Why not speak to the women? Why not reach out? Is there something that's being hidden there? Why not reach out to them? If she reaches out, is there a chance? Is it just I don't know. I want you guys to comment below. Is there a chance she hasn't reached out to the women because the women could tell her, why didn't you do anything about it? Is there a possibility of that being the situation? Why not pick up the phone, call the women? Hey, I'm with you. I feel you. But maybe you don't want to pick up the phone because you don't want to hear what the women have to say. We're going to hear about the two women also as well.
I know two of the women that were named in the New York Times article, and I have definitely plan to reach out to them.
You know them.
Yes,
You have said the knowledge that Cesar hurt young girls sickens me. It makes you sick?
oh, I think it's even more than sick. It's devastating. It's devastating.
I agree 100% with that. Don't fucking get it twisted over here, okay? Calma tu pedo. I 100% agree with that, okay? That, do I think anyone's hands are clean? No, nobody. Not even, I'm going to say this, not even Dolores Huerta's hands are clean. I don't think so. It seems to me more and more that back then it was a man's world. She didn't want to cause any waves. These things were happening. But it seems like a New York Times story came out, and now her PR team is telling her, ABC, you got to do a national interview. ABC News will be here at 8 a.m. Hair and makeup will be here at 6 a.m. Get ready, and this is what you're going to say. And they gave it to her. She researched it, and now she's saying it. For what reasons? I don't know, but that's what I'm getting.
Because, Cesar spoke about and practiced the nonviolent movement, et cetera, et cetera. Well, what could be more violent than that, And to think that somebody that we look to as our hero and our leader, it's pretty horrible.
How would you characterize what he allegedly did to Ana Murgia and Deborah Rojas?
I would say horrible. It's horrible. Because God knows what they've suffered because of that, Pretty awful.
And you've been holding a dark secret yourself.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And I know you don't want to talk too much about it, but can you tell me about that winter night in 1966 in Delano?
Well, I don't really like to revisit that, you know what I mean? I can just say that it was something unexpected, that, he said, we have to talk. I thought we were going to a meeting or something, and no, it wasn't. He had other intentions,
You said you were surprised at the brutality of it?
Well, I believe that when you do these kinds of actions against women, it is a violence, and I think these are brutal acts,
It had happened before in a hotel room. What do you remember about that?
Again, I don't really like to revisit that, I prefer not to have to go through that again.
I just want to say this. Absolutely. Anyone that would go through something traumatic like that, it would be very, so I believe that's coming from a place of truth. Is anyone that has gone through something like that, whether you were an adult or maybe you're a little chavalito, or even if you were a minor and that happened to you, reliving this is the same exact excruciating pain as the pinchy moment that it happened. So I know that that's true. That what she's saying. I hate to revisit this thing. I don't think she's ducking, dodging, or deflecting when she says that. I just want to keep that a buck.
But again, it was uninvited, unexpected.
It pains me to have to ask you this, but did Cesar Chavez rape you?
What one could, how shall I put it? You can name it what you name it, whatever, But I think when you are forced into a situation of unwanted sex or whatever, that I think you could, you could consider it rape.
And you didn't tell.
Okay, so, man, the other women, one of them named Ana Murgua, and the second, which they said she was I think she was 13. The other woman, then there's a second one. They say that she was 15. Both of them are now in their 60s, okay? Those women said, and there is corroborated reports that they actually spoke up back then when this happened, okay? Those women, I believe it, because if it wasn't true with those women that, again, we're talking about Cesar Chavez, the most influential Chicano activist in history, I believe if those women were not telling the truth, then when they would come to them with this information, New York Times reports, the internet burning on fire about this, then they would say, well, wait a second. That's not what happened. And the way you're painting this man out to be is not who he is. But no, those women came out back then. And it's a fact, gente. This is a fact. So I'm just speaking facts. And it's been corroborated that was buried. That did happen. It was buried. And the difference between Dolores Huerta and those women is Dolores Huerta, again, I don't know the allegations to be true or not. Things don't add up. It's very highly unlikely someone will traumatize you that much. Well, you will have children with them 6 years apart. I'm not saying it can't happen. Nor am I saying that because she had 13 kids, she's this or she's easy or she's loose. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that. She actually said in this interview, this guy, and I don't know if I'm going to play the whole thing because we could be here all night. She actually said that she kept the children because she thought it was a sin para matarlos. And you know what I mean. I don't want to say that word. Matarlos. You know, there's people that choose cuando los niños están en el estómago, los quieren matar. You do you. But she said because she was a Catholic woman that no quería matar los niños, this guy ends up asking her because that would be a sin. But what about, again, I'm just putting facts out here. She was married a few times and then separated, divorced and all that. She was with the brother, and the brother, which the internet doesn't mention this. You have to go to an independent news source in order to get this kind of information. The internet doesn't mention it because the internet is just like the news media. They have agendas. They're going to tell you what they want to push as far as their agenda goes. Here, we push raza. Here, we push brown issues. Here, we push Chicanismo and advancement of the raza moving forward. And we want to hear all the facts. What's right is right. What's wrong is wrong. I keep saying that. You can hear in all my points what is right and what is wrong that I believe. Wouldn't being with her brother, having 4 kids with the brother and not being married to him, but having 4 kids with him, wouldn't that also be living in sin? I'll hold. So it's just, these things don't add up. A lot of things don't add up. Why not come out during the Me Too movement? I don't know. But again, let me read some of the comments, man. I'm over here I'm not trying to get my blood boiled, but that's right, Junior Mendoza. Oh, stop it, man. Oh, man, dead Mike's in the house, but now she's unaliving them now. Damn, man. Whatever the reason was, it's because the movement is too important. Knock it off. No one person is the movement. Exactly, bro. What about MLK, man? I hate to say it. Maybe some Africanos are gonna be like, "Fuck you," this and this and that. No, I'm talking to the raza. I'm not talking to the Africanos. A lot of the raza are quicker to back up Africanos and quicker to cancel their own culture. I'm not trying to go back to that. That was the last video. That got me real hot and boiling. But obviously, it's a proven fact. It's a proven fact, man. We'll stand up for other razas, but won't stand up for ours. And what I mean stand up, I'm not talking about backing up a weirdo. No, I'm not. I'm not talking about backing up a predator. No, I'm not. I'm going to state the facts. Is anyone's hands clean in the situation? Nobody. No, not even Dolores Huerta. Nobody's hands are clean. I believe she's 100% complicit, but do I blame her? I don't think she did any of the actions. Because mostly in that time, powerful men trying to take advantage of women, which is 100% wrong. But is there a way, for the sake of the culture, that we can separate a person's personal life? Is there a way, for the sake of the culture, we can separate that from the good that was done for the people and continues to be done? Is there a way? I'm just asking the people, man. I'm not going to play this whole interview. You could watch it yourselves, you guys. I'm going to go ahead and just read some of the last comments. Dead Mike, that's right, cabron. I appreciate you. We feel you, Mikey. Again, I'm just putting the facts out there, cabrones. I don't know what else to do. I'm just going to speak the pinche, my truth. And this is what's on my heart, man. I'm a pretty good judge of character. I can hear and see, you know, something's off, something doesn't add up, something doesn't line up. And I'm not pushing any kind of political innuendo on you. I want to know the facts. But the gente on the internet in about 72 hours were the judge, the jury, and the executioner. Again, I believe Dolores Huerta to certain extents. Those women, I do believe. They had nothing to lose. They came out back then, and maybe they buried and they suppressed it. And maybe, again, I don't know it to be true, Dolores Huerta also buried and suppressed it. And she was like, well, shit, this is going to derail everything we got. Estos pinches hombres babosos, pendejos, you know, doing what the fuck they do back then, I don't agree with. Never will I agree with that. But the United Farm Workers in itself has done so much good for the brown people. For the people to want to take that away from them in 72 hours blows my mind away. Absolutely blows my mind away. Again, I'm with you, Sergio Rodriguez. I don't get it, bro. I don't get it. I'm with you. MLK ran around with his wife. I don't know, bro. I don't think they again, this is not trying to start no pinchy black and brown or anything like that. No, I'm just stating the facts. If you just research it, how many videos, how many women and all this other stuff, but no one's quick to cancel that. But the most iconic figure in Chicano history, they're quick to cancel. He's not even here. He can't even defend himself, which I don't even know if he was alive. Would he be able to defend himself? What he would say, I don't know. But he went on posthumous in 1993, man. This comes out because of a New York Times. Something doesn't add up. That happens to you, is traumatic. You get with the brother, all that's going to do is tie you more to the family. Something doesn't add up. And then you have 4 children with the brother. Just something doesn't add up. Was it a fling that turned into 2 children? Maybe. I don't know. But I'm going to leave that up to you guys. All right, you guys. Gente, I'm out. I'm going to see you guys on Thursday night. I'm going to have Dr. Jimenez on. Doctora Profesora Jimenez, sociology professor, doctor. You want to talk about brown issues? Tune in Thursday night, where we're going to talk about possibly this and possibly a whole lot more of Chicano issues, you guys. Do me a favor. You can hit that like. If you haven't already subscribed to the channel, subscribe to the channel, man. We're going to keep pushing this thing and pushing the people forward. I appreciate all you guys for your time. I'm out. I'm going to see you guys on Thursday night with Dr. Hortensia Jimenez. I appreciate your time. Live on Chicano Tube. Live on Chicano Street. Do me a solid and hit that pinchy thumbs up. Whether you're listening on the replay as well, you can hit the thumbs up. Gente, I'll see you on Thursday night. And do me a favor, comment below. I go back and I read the comments on what your thoughts are on this topic itself. I'm not going to ignite it anymore unless you guys, something happens, there's new developments, which I don't think there's going to be new developments. I think she made statements in order to protect her foundation, and her political backing. That's what I believe. Hit that pinchy like, gente. I'm out. I'll see you on the next episode. Buenas noches.